All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second ever Time Trial Tuesday. Now, you can tell right now that I look like I just got out of the shower with how wet I am. This is 5 minutes of being outside, putting my bike in the car. It's hot. It is extremely hot here in upstate New York. Right now it's about 88 degrees with 50 to 60% humidity, whatever that means. It is brutal here, and yesterday was worse. Yesterday was in the 90s, and today is only in the 80s, and it feels just the same. It feels much cooler than it was yesterday, that's for sure. But we have a time trial. Anyways, 50 seconds into this video, we have an individual time trial yet again. It's Time Trial Tuesday. June 25th, 24th today. I'm excited for this one. Not because it's hot, but because we get to kind of test. Well, it is because it's hot. I get to test to see how good and fast and whatever I have in the tank on a hot day. This is going to be as close to heat training as I'm ever going to come to. And while I'm nervous for today, I know I'm not going to beat my time that I put last week, just based on the heat alone. But I'm excited to see what happens today and put in at least a decent time. I was tempted to do a Zwift one today, but let's keep it normal and just do what we have to. We are running with the Oakley helmet yet again. I'm changing up the kit from the Zwift anniversary kit. I wore the Zwift anniversary kit the first time, which is a nice lightweight training bib and also jersey. Today I'm going to be rocking the Asus C2 bib, which is probably one of my favorites, if not the Zwift one. And then I'm going to be rocking a Lacole jersey, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is a training sport jersey that's supposed to be better in high heat situations. So we'll test that out today, see how fast we are, and let's get to the course, I guess.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go John!
That was a bad start. This start, like I said, was quite poor. For some reason, my Garmin was automatically starting the course for me, the segment course. So I was trying to mess with that as he was counting down, and I just decided to say, screw it. So if you can read it, which I hardly doubt you can, I am basically behind my PR time of 26, 20 or 33 by about 27 seconds. So I need to keep that in mind as I'm pushing it. And you didn't hear him say, but the temperature is 93 degrees. Absolutely insane. So our goal is to try not to overheat and push it as hard as I can without giving myself a heat stroke. So let's zoom up until we pass our first victim here quite quickly today. Now, I know last week I ended up having some really good food, really healthy food, Core Life Eatery. Haven't heard back from them. So, again, if you want to sponsor me for Time Trial Tuesdays, let's do it. But I had a burger that had like poutine on it, and I mean, it was super unhealthy. So we're going to skip up right here when half the road is just covered in dirt, which was ridiculous. I don't know whose house, what they're building, but they need to brush that. That was ridiculous. I had to go up to the yellow line to get around that safely and not just fly over it. But anyways, right now we're kind of setting a decent pace to start. It's actually quite heavy, but I felt very similar to my original time, which I thought was a plus, right? I was coming in here with not a lot of expectations, not really knowing what I was going to be able to do today in the heat. So yeah, with that burger weighing me down and also that awful sun and heat and humidity, it wasn't going to be a fun day on the bike. But all I knew is that I need to keep spinning my pedals, keep pushing the power down. And if we got the time last week, as I was pretty confident that we could work on our turns this week. That was one of my big goals coming into the week that I talked about last week during the time trial. Was I lost so much time to the guys behind me based on my turns, my awful slow turns. And I was quite fast on this first one last week. But, obviously I wasn't perfect as I'm approaching the first right-hander. I'm still about around 26, 27 seconds, so I'm about even with my time right now, maybe up a split second. So I knew if I could get some good turns, maybe I could surprise myself towards the end of this time trial and hopefully not blow myself out of the water. So we're going to slow it down here. Here's the first turn. I get out real wide, and I don't have that confidence to really pull the bike in around the corner yet. But overall, it was a better turn. It was tighter, and I kept a lot of speed into the turn. I didn't have to get out of the saddle and really crank my speed up to continue. Now, as we start, probably one of my favorite parts of the route, I like going into this tree area, but I was feeling such a tailwind that it was honestly, I felt like I was flying down this road. Even though my time wasn't really coming down at this point of the route, I felt like I wasn't putting an extreme amount of pressure on the pedals, but I was also going quite fast. Now I'm going to slow it down for this next turn. This was more of an aggressive turn for me. It doesn't look that crazy of a bend, but this is where my time starts to really drop. The first point in the race, or in the time trial, that I actually felt surprised where my legs were, where my head was, where my heart rate was, and I was losing time. At this point, I think I was around 23 seconds behind my time, which in turn is about 3 seconds up. So I was very shocked with that. Now at this point, we're kind of around the 5-mile point, halfway done with this, and my legs were feeling pretty good. We had some key turns like this one. I was able to get a good look at the road. There was no cars, and I'm able to get some good power here. This is kind of where I can gain a bunch of time with some good turns. Now, I don't think that was, the best of all turns, but we've got another turn coming up right here. This was actually exactly where I got passed before by my good old new friend. I forgot his name. Phil, maybe? Phil? But anyways, I'm 4 seconds up on my time at this point, and we're about, like I said, halfway done with this route, and this kind of gets me motivated to absolutely grind the rest of this ride. We basically only have an uphill section on this road, and then I think we have one more turn, and then it's basically all flat / very slightly downhill. So I know I need to absolutely grind up this hill, put as many watts as I can to make sure that my speed stays as high as possible. And as we come around the bend here, I know that one of our final turns is coming up, and I need to nail it. This was actually the turn that I got mugged on last week, and instead of getting mugged, I do an absolute beautiful turn, high speed. I say it was beautiful. It definitely wasn't the most beautiful thing, but it was faster than mostly anything else that I've ever done. And at this point, I have shotgunned my time all the way up to 15 seconds. That's right, I have already gained about 10 seconds on my original time. The only issue that's really nagging at me at this point is how tough is the rest of the course going to be for me, especially that we have about 3 miles left. Like, there's still a decent amount of time here as I take the final turn. I'm able to kind of dig in deep here. It's very wide. Honestly, not a great turn whatsoever, but it was fast enough where I looked down, and right after this little hill, and I'm ahead of my time by 20 seconds. That's right, I have made up about 40 seconds on my original time. And with about 3 miles left, I know I have to just keep the pedal to the metal and keep grinding this out. There's going to be a little lip up here that I have to pass, and I have to pass right. But if I can keep this power down, which I am a little worried about because it is starting to really take a toll on me physically and just breath-wise. Like, it is so warm at this point that, yeah, my legs feel good enough to finish at this pace. It's just, is my body able to keep up with it? And that's something that I haven't really struggled with much this year, is how fit am I actually? Excuse me. It's something I have been dealing with on the bike and fighting through these rides on Zwift, and if it's for my individual time trial, as we enter about the last mile or so, and we are back down to about 30 seconds on our time, but we know we can grind it out. We can get a good ending. I've been struggling with that endurance, and it's something I haven't worked on too much, but we can see the finish. We can see Brian's van lights on, and that means we need to go all out. We need to get across this line no matter what, even if it kills us. We're at the brink of exhaustion, it feels like, and there it is. Woo! That's me. That's me. Now at this point, I know I have beat my time, but I am absolutely exhausted. It is time to spray water on myself, get some good drink in, and see where we are at. Now the good news for me is I didn't get passed by a single other person, so I felt extremely confident at that point that I was possibly going to be the fastest man on track. I don't know what my time is, but I beat it by like a minute.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Holy, I kicked my own ass.
Nothing, man.
Like just living. Yeah. John, you want some water?
I got some.
Okay.
Thank you though. I might, maybe in a little.
I can't. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not as cold.
He slowed up at the end, but there was a bit where I could barely make out his flashing light.
You all right, Mo?
I'm here.
Okay.
Well, I was taking those corners a little better, and it helped me out.
You were well over a minute up on me, and then I could see I was closing in on you a little bit.
Yeah,
You're still.
my heart rate hit like 189. I was like, I can't do anymore.
189, yeah, no.
I wish.
I was struggling to get to 160 today.
It's been a while since I've hit that, that's for sure.
How old are you?
25.
I was going to say you got to be in your 20s.
I told Mo, I said, the young guy's kicking our butts today.
All right, well, what we've got so far, Mo, actually, I'm sorry. John has the fastest time of the day.
Holy.
26:15.
Wow.
And I believe you had 26:35 last week.
Yeah.
20 seconds faster.
Yeah, 20 seconds faster in the heat.
Hey.
Sub 20
Thank you.
seconds.
Thank you. All right, guys. So we beat our time by like 20 something seconds. And I was a little worried because my time on my Wahoo started super early. So I was already like 28 seconds behind my time originally. We're gonna do post ride cool down in the car because I need to get back to the car and I am gassed. I mean, I need a second to breathe and think about that time. That was insane. So we'll see in a second for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have PB'd yet again. I think the time was 26:11. That is insane. Like, unreal time. I mean, 93 degrees out here in upstate New York. I'm gonna go crush a body armor. I don't even really know what to say about today. Unbelievable. I put everything on the line today. I made some good turns. I fought hard, and I didn't give up at all today. So, unreal. Thankful for everything. Thankful for the ability to even be out here today, and unreal. Also, I want to follow up on an earlier question about how do I get faster, my training regimen, you know, things like that. I'm working on a video. I had a few things emergency-wise that came up at work. Everything's fine with me and whatnot, but like, also shout out to the guy that's going out to run after that. Holy crap. He's gonna be doing his 97th triathlon this weekend. He's an older guy, unreal. So yeah, that's a video that I'm going to be working on and hopefully going to be posting within the next week or two. And it's gonna go over what I've been doing now, what I've been doing in the past, and what I think has been working the most for me. And right now it's hard to say that what I'm doing is helping me, but it's obvious that my fitness hasn't been going down. So we'll talk all about it in this video. It's probably gonna be 12-ish minutes or so. About all kinds of things throughout my cycling career that I've done, my 4 years of cycling, I guess. So I hope you guys are excited for that. And if there's any other types of videos, please let me know if you want me to go in depth on things and whatnot. Put it in the comments, let me know. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time for the next Time Trial Tuesday.